Hello everyone, this is Nick, the Famicom Raider, and I am here to bring you the Retron demonstration. So first, we're going to plug our Retron 5 into our Elgato capture card. There we go, and we're going to turn it on. And we see the Retron 5 logo pops up, and this is in Elgato's capture software, so you can see that it's actually going through the card using the HDMI. And inside we have the Game Boy Sailor Moon game. Now, like I said in my last review, you can pretty much use the Super Nintendo controller or the NES controller or the Sega Genesis controller to control any game, even the menus. So the stock controller that comes with the Retron 5, you can just leave it in the box. Or if you don't have any extra retro controllers, you can use it. Or if you only have one retro controller, you can always give it to a friend in multiplayer. So as you can see, we have very good quality on there. This is the window mode. This isn't stretched. My next couple videos, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stretch it out to the full screen. So as you can see, this got the black lines on the sides. So Game Boy games, you can also have those to where they stretch to be the full screen. So here we go. We're going to try Sailor Moon, Another Story. Sorry for the quality of this one, guys. I've put the GoPro someplace that I could get footage from both. So here we go. Sailor Moon, Another Story. Works out good. This has been... It's still windowed to the original form factor. It hasn't been stretched out yet. But just to show you that you can play your classic games and stuff like that. Towards the end of this video, I will have all the gameplay footage I recorded using the Elgato, so you can see how it looks when it's recorded and what you can do with it, especially if you're doing YouTube videos. It looks awesome. The quality is perfect. It's really good stuff. You don't really have to worry about anything. Like I said, it enhances the textures of the video anyways. So you can actually like heighten the resolution of your games. To anti-aliasing will, eliminate a lot of the jaggies, especially when it's stretched out to full screen. There'll be less jaggies on the screen. Well, while you're watching this demonstrations of the Retron 5, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of my channel. So this channel, I'm going to be going around all over Japan and Korea finding Super Famicom games and Famicom games. Since it's in such a high abundance in this region, I thought it would be good because I haven't seen too many people out there that specialize in Famicoms. Of course, you have your mainstays that do retro games, like the Angry Video Game Nerd, the Game Chasers, 8-Bit Eric, Norm the Gaming Historian, Keep the Joking Gamer. You also have Nostalgia Critic and freaking Pat the NES Punk and so forth and so forth. Other people out there that do retro games. So I thought, what's something different, a little bit outside the box that we're not used to in America. We don't really see that often, and when we do, they're kind of priced out a little bit high because they do, include the import fees and all that, shipping, whatnot. So I figured I'm already here. I'm already in Asia. Let's go ahead and we'll start doing videos on the games I find out here. Now, I will say this, if you're in Japan, it's a lot easier than in Korea because Koreans don't read console games, so it's very hard to find good console stuff in Korea. There's only like a small number of places. Koreans are mostly into strategy and MMO type games for PC. That's what they do. And electronic stuff in Korea costs way too much. It's way overpriced here. My water cool setup, if you look at the HackerRay channel, my setup on my computer, they don't even have it here. I can't get any of the parts that I have on my computer here in Korea. And if I could, they wouldn't be anywhere near the price I paid for them. They'd be way overpriced. So, It's very tough. This is actually, it's an undertaking because it's almost as hard as being in the US even though you're in Asia. So the best bet is to go to Japan. So whenever I get chances to, I always try to take a weekend or something like that in Japan, and I'll fish out games and stuff like that. Plus I have a contact in Seoul that hooks me up pretty regularly with Famicom and Super Famicom games. That's how I was able to get the Sailor Moon Another Story. So pretty lucky there. Let's see, right now I'm going to be doing Street Fighter. So this is a Sega Genesis. Now this does work with Sega Master System and Mega Drive games. It even has the attachment. You can put the attachment on top of this, but of course you won't be able to use your NES slot, your Super NES slot, because of the bulkiness of that Sega enhancement piece. But everything works good. Still using the Super Famicom controller even though I'm playing a Sega Genesis game. So if you've always wanted to play fighting games and use more buttons than the 3-button Sega Genesis, this works out good. Otherwise you'd have to get the 6-button Sega Genesis controller. Now speaking of systems, I was a Sega guy from the beginning. I had an NES, I've had an Atari and NES, and then when the 16-bit era came around, I had my parents get me a Sega Genesis because a friend of mine had a Sega. And I got hooked on Sonic and I thought it was the greatest shit in the world. And so I had my parents get me a Sega Genesis. I remember going to the Take One videos and stuff like Blockbusters and renting games and stuff like that because my dad didn't see any point in really buying games because he said you would get old of them after a while and need to trade them in anyways. So just rent them. So I spent most of my youth just renting games, barely owning any really for the Sega Genesis. And then once I hit into my 12 years old, I want to say, is when 12 to 13. So that's when the PlayStation came out for me, and I had to get it. So I got the PlayStation. Some of the first games I got on it were Wipeout, Tomb Raider, and Tekken. Yeah, that was some of the first games I had on that system. And then a couple of years went by, and I picked up a Saturn. Now the Saturn I had was a hacked one that had a switch on the side that lets you play import games. Now I remember one of the import games I had was X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which has to be hands down my favorite fighting game of all time. That's my unicorn, my rare game that I want. X-Men vs. Street Fighter for the Sega Saturn with the 16 megabyte card. It was an awesome game. It was way ahead of its time. Just like this game here, Ninja Turtles. It was way ahead of its time, especially in the arcade. I love this game. I used to go to a local pizzeria all the time as a kid, having my parents take me there whenever they finished work or whatever, and I would just play this game for the whole time I was there. It was great. I loved it. And now having it on the NES is pretty awesome. So we're going to stick in the NES controller, the original NES, and we're going to play it on that. You don't have to exit the game or anything to do this. You can add controllers in and out at will, and it'll automatically switch to whatever controller you're pressing buttons on at the time. So there we go. Got the classic NES controller, and it works perfectly, as you can see. Really good, really smooth. And this also works too if you only have one of each and you wanted to play with a friend. Basically just tell them, hey, which one do you want to use? The NES or Super NES? But it won't work the opposite way. You can, I'm not going to say you can't, you can use it with Super Nintendo games, but you're going to be missing 2 buttons. So you're not going to have all 4 buttons and the triggers at your disposal. So you'll only have the direction in A and B. So you're kind of at a disadvantage if you try to use the original controller with Super Nintendo games. But you can do it. The same with Sega Genesis. You can use Sega Genesis with it too. Now, this is awesome because you have all your gaming library in one place. So I guess in short, I'm going to tell you why you should buy the Retron. So, main reason is you have all of your stuff. Oh, wait. Just a little hint. This game was sponsored by Pizza Hut, the Ninja Turtles game. The arcade was sponsored by Pizza Hut. So there are Pizza Hut ads in the game. Little Pizza Hut placements. Because why would you be in a hotel and there be a sign on the wall right there saying Pizza Hut? You know what I mean? But anyways. Back to what I was saying. Why you should get this game. This system. Because you can play everything in your library on one system. So all those consoles you picked up over the years, you can put those away. You can put them in boxes. You can buy boxes to them if you don't have them already, and put them in boxes and just let them, sit somewhere on display or in the back. If they're not getting used, they're not really getting damaged. Especially if you keep them in a damp-free area, very ventilated and temperature controlled, they'll be fine and they'll last even longer. So you still have your old units if you ever want the nostalgia of playing one or just want to collect them. But now you can still play your original games. So what does this do? Basically, you stick the game in there and it dumps the ROM onto the system. So it copies the ROM off the cart onto the system. You still need the cart in it to play, even though it's copied it. But in a sense, that's what it is. You're playing the ROM of the game. You're not playing the actual game itself. Basically, you are playing the game, but you're not. It's kind of weird like that. But it gives you the freedom to play everything at once. Plus, it's HDMI. It upscales to your newer TVs and stuff like that. So it works great for Elgato recordings. A lot better because in other old ways, you'd have to hook up proprietary connections or buy different stuff to hook it up. But now, with this system, if I wanted to, I could stream Mighty Final Fight on Twitch right now. I could hook it up, start going at it, do the Twitch program, and stream it straight to Twitch right now. So there's a lot of freedom using the Retron. So that's why you should buy it. But be careful buying games for this. As you saw, that was a Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. But what is inside it is not Super Mario. So be careful buying games. Luckily for me, my friend that owns the store in Seoul that I get a lot of games from here, my Famicom games, he had that. And he told me about it. Some American traded it into him, and he got bamboozled. So pretty much he just gave it to me for free, as here you go, have it. It's useless for me. So pretty much it's just a Japanese soccer game. Uses Japanese soccer leagues inside a Super Mario World Kart. So apparently somebody did that to try to gain more money because American games are valued more here in Asia than they are in the U.S. So pretty much whatever an American game is in the U.S., it's almost 1/3 more valuable here than it is in America. So a lot of people are taking American carts, putting just whatever in them, and then selling them. Especially, I heard GameStop's having this problem too in the U.S. So just be careful buying used games like that. Just be ready, and I would say test it out before you can. And if you're doing eBay, just use your buyer protection stuff. PayPal it, whatever. Because if you buy that $200, little Samsung or whatever, the mega deal you find, and it turns out to be a Flintstone, whatever, not Dinosaur Peak, but the other one, the cheap one, then you're gonna want to get your money back, and you need to keep yourself protected like that, guys. Just watch out. Because there's a lot of people out there taking advantage of retro gamers nowadays. Because it's such a huge market and money for this stuff. Anyways, that concludes this video, guys. I have to say Retron 5 is awesome. The controller sucks, so be ready to purchase, regular controllers. The original controllers, I suggest. But it is a worth buy. You'll enjoy it. It's very worth it. Especially even if you already have the consoles. It's very much worth it. Just for that peace of mind that you can put those away and they'll still be good. And we're all good here. Retron 5 is for the win, guys. So, this is the video recordings that I just played and you just watched in the background. Okay, this is captured with the Elgato. What's this? This is the HD60 Pro. This is the one that plugs directly into your PCIe slot on your computer. So it's a better, faster controller. Check out the Hacker Raid channel. I have a full unboxing on it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. This is just the gameplays. I also go through the UI for the system, showing you all the options in it. There's upscaling and all kinds of other stuff that you can do to make the textures a lot more smoother, clearer, all kinds of stuff, guys. Anyways, check out the rest of the video. If you like it, give me a like. Be sure to subscribe. I'm gonna have more retro gaming videos up pretty soon here. I'm gonna do a different style of reviews than most people do, so I hope you guys will like it. Also, check out my other channel if you want to see more modern gameplays and games, PC, Xbox One, PS4 stuff, PS3 stuff, at Hacker Raid channel. Just go into search, or search Hacker Raid channel, or click the little icon in the top right of your screen right now, and it'll take you right there. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
One, fight! Kickoff. Kickoff.